Good afternoon. I I found this kind of old article from the Mises Institute, which if you're into Austrian economics, I recommend to read from time to time. It's about the state's welfare. Yes, it's the state's welfare. Politicians want you to believe it's the welfare state, but it's the other way around. Actually, let me fix that. Well, let me fix that for you. But anyway, states welfare. There you are. There, fix it for you. Why? I mean, this is not my idea. This mark is used by some economists, mocking, of course, liberal economists, mostly of the Austrian school, or sympathizers of the Austrian school. But anyway, I like that, and I always refer to it as the state's welfare. Alright. So this is, of course, the Mises Institute, and this is oriented to the United States. But the analysis can be extrapolated to any modern Western country. So let's go. Yeah, it's doctrine the modern American welfare state. The federal government must be the state's welfare must be run by the federal government, which is the top level government in the country. Alright, of course, changing that is backward and reactionary. Alright, yeah. Even and this is true, many US states are larger than many even European countries. So but still, the federal state is the one to. We need to have everything centralized in the highest level. So why this is a problem? Alright, of course, for the sake of argument, let's assume that a welfare state, no, I'm saying it like this, is a good thing. Let's assume that for the sake of argument. So yeah, yes, say many countries. You can read the article in the description. I'll leave the link in the description. After you click like, you need to like the video and then read the article. Alright, Americans regularly told that the welfare states in this foreign country are well funded. Yeah. Yeah. Well run. Yeah, someone's still reading Tumblr. Generous and superior to American welfare state. Knowing some European countries, and especially Spain, I'll take that with a grain of salt. But again, that's what the government say, which implies you should either not believe it or take it with half a pound of salt. With the Spaniards, with the per capita GDP similar to New Mexico, can allegedly run their own welfare state so well, yeah, according to the government anyway, then the Mexican can be allowed to do the same. Of course, because New Mexican, Texans, and Mississippians are too stupid, especially these Republican states, which are too stupid. They are like anti-science and homophobic and racist, and they all live in mansions and sip whiskey and smoke cigars and twirling their mustaches and laughing like, because there are Republicans, you see. Alright, so they say, so the federal state has to make sure that the stupid Republicans flyover states do the right thing. Alright. According to the federal government, poor states need to be subsidized by the rich states. Of course they are. Of course they need, especially when they are Republican states. They are like Republican evil. Say. So this is this is stupid. And maybe some specific case will need some help, but let's not put the oxen behind the cart, or the can in front of the oxen, whichever one is right. In general, to leave government social problem, and not just social programs, like any programs in general, the program should be as close to the people affected as possible. To get the money closer to the taxpayer who put the bill. Then you have some bloke from New York footing the bill some social community lesbian dance in Mississippi, which that's more, and not just efficiency on the spending, but also there's also more accountability. I'll go back to this in a minute. And of course, by breaking the welfare state into 50 smaller units, the programs will be more responsible to the taxpayer, who don't have to go to Washington DC and compete with all the national special interests, which in these times are like too many, I would say. It's easier and cheaper to meet your state representative. I know. I'll go further. I'll expand on that at the end. Rather send billions to Washington, then wait for some bureaucrats to spend them to decide. Bureaucrats to decide to send me some of that money back after taking a generous cut from themselves? Of course, because hey, bureaucrats have to live too, don't they? Why not just give that money where it came from? Exactly. There is this Argentine economist Javier Milei. He used to say the money goes through the porous hand of politicians who always the sticky hands of politicians that always all the money that goes through them always some of it gets stick to the hand. That's beside the point. Also the money that goes from taxpayer to the federal government is far larger than that goes to the state themselves. And this is federal taxes. This is the orange thing, and the bluish line is the state tax. Yeah, as you can see, Texas, Florida, have an even lower percentage of. Yeah, you see, well, California. Of course it is California. The People's Republic of California. Let's see here. Anyway, the federal government take and every day it takes even more. All right. So. What if all the state federal tax revenue were allowed to stay in the state and distributed to everyone on public assistance without going through this bureaucrat's hands and sticking to the sticky hand? Yeah, of course. They say here, let's taxpayer keep it. Yeah. Yeah, and of course they agree. The best tax is no tax, but the best welfare state is no welfare state. It's when everyone can support themselves. But they continue with the argument. Well, there's some calculations here. I don't want to bore you with that. So, Washington money, government have 825,000 million or billions, as you call it here. They did some calculation. The federal government can go with 835 billion. That's 1,000 millions. Yep, and the state get to pocket 2.4 trillion, 2.4 million dollars. Yeah, that would be great, isn't it? And lower taxes. Well, unless it's the People's Republic of California, when they will, instead of the DC bureaucrats, the Californian bureaucrats will keep it. New York and New Jersey, all the East Coast, and actually all the coast. Anyway, how many low-income people are in each state? Right, there's some calculation. How many low-income people per state? For instance, the District of Columbia can give $150,000 to each low-income people, which are like middle class in Mississippi. So, Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland, Nebraska, New Hampshire. Well, all right. This is a calculation. This is a theoretical calculation. How much money? Hey, 30 grams a year for not doing nothing. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah. All right. This is a per person number. Right. They they run some calculations. These numbers are not as bad as they seem. For instance, Mississippi, the median monthly housing cost is 687. All right. With less than $700 a month, you can kinda live. Hey. In the world, there are fairly companies to like and hassle. Yeah. Alright, so we complain with only 13% that goes to all those miscellaneous with these quotes, ad funding and research. It's like very important. Yeah, let the state decide on that. The state could do that, and yeah, the state would gonna have all the friend artists and things, whatever. Alright, they don't say this should be like that, but it's a model much better than the current one. So why is the federal government necessary to spread the welfare? No. Right, and yeah, the state will have balanced budget because as in the individual state, not the state, and have balanced budget. Or in general, I would say you should have a balanced budget. I have to have a balanced budget in my personal finance, and most companies should have a balanced budget, and governments too. Yeah, the federal government just money printer go brrr. And remember, this is 2017. This is before money printer go brrr. Continue expand. Yeah. And you know who's the best beneficiary of all this welfare program? Yeah, bureaucrats, politicians. That's why many people call it the state's welfare. And yeah, there's the politically going on, and yeah, and the clientelism. Yeah. Yeah, well, even Trump is not even Trump is a sadist. So and yeah, that's the political side. To have both conservatives and leftists fall, and yeah, fuck liberal. I mean, actual liberals, not progressive liberal, classical libertarians. Yeah, because who cares? Libertarians are like evil, like they don't care about the people. They don't have the empathy we the progressive have. they are like totally non-empathy. Yeah, so in conclusion, the welfare state could be decentralized back to the state, of course, and it will be more more efficient. We will save, as in the taxpayer, will save a lot of money and keep money out of the Pentagon and DC. So, this is just the Gedanken experiment, should I say, about decentralizing. In general, decentralizing is the best approach. It's more resilient. It's more agile if you want to go the way. Decentralizing, and that's I want to ask, why stay in the state? Why not send it to the county or to the local council? You see, the higher the spend, the less accountable. And if you let's go back to Britain, to here. Imagine some merchant in the high street of London who pays taxes, but these taxes are then spent in some government program in let's say Inverness, Scotland. How do this merchant know? How can he check that his taxes are put to good use? For all he knows, is the politician keep it, which is a fair hypothesis. So, what if, and then there's the unaccountability of devolved governments. So, for instance, Queen Nicola Sturgeon won this huge social programs and free healthcare and free school, and you got a free school and you got a free healthcare. Everyone got free things. Who's paying for that? Most of it England. I mean, I love Scotland, and the people of Scotland, and the places I've been to Scotland are beautiful. I'm talking about the government. It's easy to, and just using Scotland as an example that can apply to anyone. If you give free stuff to your people, yeah, it's easy when someone else is paying. So, and it's easy for a local council to say, we need more fancy rubbish collection. Who's going to pay? Westminster, of course. No. Imagine if you pay taxes in the high street on a city, and you see how these taxes used. I'm not advocating here for the elimination of the welfare state. That's a totally different topic. We are working for the sake of argument that there is a welfare state and not a state's welfare. So let's say you pay your taxes and you see in your city that those taxes are put to good use. I don't think anyone has a problem with paying reasonable taxes and see the the results of those taxes put to work in a good way. We can argue how much is reasonable and what is good use, but let's assume we have that solved. I don't think anyone is against that. If you see, but when the people who spend your taxes are so far away, not just geographically, not just in the geographic way, as in, let's say, Inverness, Scotland, for Williams. That's not the point. It's also far away in levels. You give the money to Westminster, that goes through committees and bureaucracy, and then they decide where that goes to, where that money goes. Who needs that? Basically, bureaucrats in Westminster decide what you, and then they decide how much Holyrood needs, and then in Holyrood they decide who needs the money. That's not just geographical for, and that's not what I'm what I'm trying to think. It's not the geographical far away, is all the levels of indirection, all the hubs that money has to, which if you just pay some local county tax or local council tax, and that money is used to provide for the schools in your locality. Schools you can see, the psychological effect is totally different. It's like you see where your money is being spent, and you see children laughing and playing and running. Not now, unfortunately. and you can be feel proud. Oh, my taxes. My taxes are making these children, specifically these children, not some abstract children. You know your taxes go here. You can have control, and when you see your taxes are misused, which is often when taxes go to Westminster, and then Westminster decide where to send those taxes, whatever. Some lobbies and interest groups and bureaucrats and sticky hands. Those children are far away from you. Furthermore, let's do all the welfare to the at the level of local council or city hall, city, town, the lowest level you need for the in case, and the system will be held more accountable, because when you see the welfare money spent on other things, you can go to your local council and say, "Oi, that's me money, yo. Why you spending me money? And why am I talking like an Irish? I don't know." You can go to your local council and have more control on how your taxes are spent. I'll go furthermore, and this is screw all the state welfare state. Erase, wipe it. Private charities, and you decide which charity your money goes, how much, and for what purpose. And you know what? Charities will have the incentive to spend that wisely. Why? Because the moment people see that they are misusing that money, they will withdraw the support. You know what? They're going bankrupt. So a private charity will have the best incentive to spend the money well. But I guess we can all dream. That ain't gonna happen in this Western world. Actually, that's how it used to be before the state's welfare. During in the 19th century. Don't get fooled by Charles Dickens. That's a totally separate video. I'm gonna make one about that. But in the 19th century, during the Industrial Revolution, uppercase I, uppercase R. Private charities made that not just here in England, in the United States as well. But that's another totally different topic. So yeah, I'll leave it at that, and just think about it. Realize how much you pay in taxes. Where is it going? What does the government do with it? Do you know? We can't find ways how, but it's so far away from us. You can't even check it. For all you know, it's being spent on 4 stars hotel for people coming in dinghies. So what can you do? I'll leave with that. As usual, I'll leave the link in the description. If you like this, did you find this interesting? Like the video. If you don't, dislike it and leave a comment of why you don't. I don't. Insults or requests or comments that's what the comments are for. This is YouTube. So as usual, vote with your wallets, because we all are the market. Cheers.